Denmark is so lovely, and the juxtaposition between all these timber framed houses and thatched roofs that you get across the country alongside the modernity, because they really do embrace modern living here, is fantastic. I love it. So many streets here that you just look like you've stepped into a fairy tale. Speaking of fairy tales, I think I can see Hans Christian Andersen's childhood home.
And here's Cass deciding whether she deserves the ticket price to go into something that she's wanted to do for a long time.
It's quite a lot of money, and
it's not a lot of money, but we are only here once.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
It's on camera now, you have to.
Yeah, okay.
We've done it, and it's only 165 krona each. So we now have one. Very excited.
Very excited. Yeah, it's going to be a cool day.
We're getting a headphone guided tour. This should be fun. Oh, apparently I'm missing out.
The use of headsets and the layout of the museum make this an immersive experience. And it starts with Hans Christian Andersen's childhood.
A kind of fairy came down and pressed her kiss upon my lips, then fluttered off on gossamer wings. Not every child is visited like this, but I was.
This part of the museum looked at Hans Christian Andersen's correspondence, mostly his love letters, to women and men alike, many of his loves unrequited. Always on the move, never at rest. A number of different addresses in Copenhagen, numerous visits to manor houses in Denmark, 30 trips abroad, 9 years in total. Travel to write, wrote to travel. There's an entire room at the exhibition dedicated to Hans Christian Andersen's notes, his original manuscripts and his first editions. In the room are lots of paper cuttings, including the paper chains and intricate patterns that he was known to make. Although many of the manuscripts are encased in glass, the interactive display allows you to flick through the manuscripts and move his papers around as though you had access to the author's desk. And at every display, the headphones tell you the story of the stories of Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen, poet and storyteller. Inwardly, the ability to see a story in anything. Outwardly, the eternal retelling of his own story, the ugly duckling who became a swan. He put himself in the spotlight to attract the world's attention, but stepping into the spotlight invites public opinion, and Hans Christian came under close scrutiny. Everyone had their opinion. Andersen said, "I am like water. Everything moves me. Everything is reflected in me. I must be part of my poetic nature, and something I benefit and am blessed by, but it can also be a curse." The final section of the exhibition allows you to walk through the fairy tales of Hans Christian Andersen, interacting with stories such as The Emperor's New Clothes, The Nightingale, The Steadfast Tin Soldier, The Princess and the Pea, The Snow Queen, The Ugly Duckling, The Little Match Girl, and Thumbelina. For children, this section offers some interactive fun, and for adults at the exhibition, it allows us a moment of memory of our own childhood stories.
That was literally the best thing ever. I loved it.
As you rise up the stairs from the Modern Museum, you enter Hans Christian Andersen's birthplace, the house in which the author was born on the 2nd of April 1805. There are no original artefacts from Andersen's childhood, which is why the house stands all but empty. The place where Andersen was born, an ugly duckling of society, before he improved his standing and grew to the revered author he is today, still loved all over Denmark and the world, a beautiful, handsome swan. Also included in the entry fee is free entrance to the Hans Christian Andersen's childhood home, a short walk up the road.
Yeah, that was amazing, like overwhelmingly so. I felt like I was almost moved to tears a couple of times. Huge fan of Hans Christian Andersen during my childhood, and then as an adult, my appreciation for the layers in his stories as just that was brilliant.
Really clever the way they do it. They give you the headsets, and they've obviously got sensors in there. Every time you get to a little mini exhibition, you stand near it and you get the audio for that particular, whatever it is, picture, movie. Really, really clever.
The whole place is like a fairy tale. It just took you through the story of his life and his fairy tales, and brilliant.
Not my thing, but I still enjoyed it, and more importantly, I've got a happy cat.